Please start.
Hello, everyone. A pleasant day to all those who are present here and all those who are on the listeners list as well. This is Dr. Ravikumar here from Bangalore, India, welcoming all the participants, the team members of the International Internship University, and the guest for the day, rather the trainer for the day, Dr. Srividya Sukumar from UAE. Before I introduce Dr. Srividya Sukumar, it is my pleasure, privilege, and also my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Piyush Pandit, who has studied this International Internship University and lone-handedly has spread the wings of this International Internship University across all the 7 continents and 195 countries. So today, International Internship University has registered with 6 major countries like India, US, UK, Romania, so Canada, so on and so forth. And last but not the least, it is my privilege and honor to welcome our prestigious backbone of the International Internship University for the India chapter, Dr. Snigdha Kadam, because of whom this has spread its wing across all the 30 states in India and has developed many students of all courses in all the verticals and all the domains, in helping them to enroll them for the internships, which is the first of its kind on the digital internship or the online internship university this is. So I welcome all the participants for the day 2 of batch 4 of the Global Career Counseling batch. Today's facilitator for us is none other than our great fellow trainer and a good friend of us, Dr. Srividya Sukumar from UAE. A small note about Srividya Sukumaran is that she is a very well-versed and a versatile speaker. She is a research and development strategist, and she is a strategic transformation consultant, an educationist, an entrepreneur, quality assurance expert, master coach for life and business. She has many more headings to all these things. She has, if I start saying all those things, the time for her schedule would be lost. So keeping that in mind, I would brief her further very briefly. She is a volunteer at UNESCO, UNICEF, Emirates and Crescent AI Methodom Foundation, Sharjah Social Welfare. She is a global panelist board member of GFSN, that is Global Sustainable Futures Agent Global. So this is a warm welcome and all the best to Dr. Srividya Sukumar, one who is taking us through this knowledgeable session and pouring all her knowledge on the how to become a global career counselor for all of us. Over to you, Dr. Srividya Sukumar, and the platform is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Ravikumarji. And I once again extend a very warm welcome to each one of you. I would take a couple of minutes on that, welcoming each one of you by name: Dr. Deepak Gosavi, Dr. Sonia Elliott, Ms. Maria Fernando, and Ms. Antonia Silagi, and Ms. Dragos from which country, I'm not able to figure it out. I'm sorry about it. Ms. Shafi, and also Dr. Snigdha Kedam. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity. Without taking much time, I think we should go on to the session. And so I'm sharing my screen. Well, I hope my screen is visible.
Just it is about to get screened. Yes, it's visible.
Yes. So on behalf of IIU, I once again extend a warm welcome to all the viewers of today who have joined in for this session. It's again, and with immense pleasure, I extend a warm welcome to you all to join for the session. And of course, once the session is over, we are always open for question session. That's on the fourth day, as Dr. Snigdha will always mention. Well, representing IIU is definitely a pride. The world's first international internship university, inspiring, inventing, igniting young minds. So as we all know, it's a leading virtual education system and a global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well-reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it has a trusted name for the quality training programs, and thus we are here on this platform. So, and is committed to providing a better virtual education to all the young learners across the globe. In short span of time, we should really congratulate IIU for it. IIU has spread its wing into 195 countries and 6 continents. How is this possible? Under the strong leadership and stewardship of the visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit, sir. We owe our due respects to you, and a committed, inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to all students from various social and cultural backgrounds. So we all know about the school that Mr. Piyush Pandit is coming up with, the global school, which is going to be the example for the global scenario, like how to have a school without the name money. That's what is it. Very ambitious, but still on this project. And we are all proud to be here along with them, sailing on the same boat. Thanks to you, sir. Thanks to IIU. So today's topic. So myself, as I was given introduction, basically, right. This is what I define myself as. Rather than the left-hand side, the right-hand side carries more value and more related to resonate to my heart, I would say. I never paint dreams, I paint my own reality. So what you see me here today is exactly, that's what I've been thinking about, working on it and moving ahead. And that's how, as you see me here, as a director of Educate Global Dubai, UAE. So moving ahead, like today's topic is more related to it. That's why I just projected that. Coming to the career counseling. The career is definitely not by chance, but it is always by choice. So we are here to remove all the confusions to take our career forward as such. And that's what the session is going to take us forward. So career pathway counseling, guidance to student profiling and candidature building, directives for active and engaging opportunities from a choice of career pathways, performance expectations and their benefits according to the different domains of excellence, whichever country do we belong to, whichever education system that we belong to, whichever curriculum that we belong to. So to do that, defining the skills that are required for the future to reach, to live up to the standard expectations, and to make it possible, the value of the magic triangle, contributing to the rationale of the career pathway that is evolving from self, community, and the terrain, taking it forward. So how do we go there? What does this word big career, the word carrier means? Anybody? Any prompts from anywhere? What is the word carrier? It's too heavy for us to carry. Carrier, right? C-A-R-I-E-R. Well, the other word, it's more synonym of C-E-R-E-E-R-E. As it takes forward its individual metaphorical journey to learning, work, and other aspects of life. So that the very word, the very synonymous of what I said before, it's like celebrating every moment of your life. So as to evolve a self, the change that you bring in yourself to meet up to the demands of the career is the expectation that you set for yourself. That's what the word career means. And it is ultimately derives from the Latin name referring to the chariot. So the chariot is the one who drives, who takes it forward. And who is the driver? We are the driver. We are going to define it. We are going to define our own career. We are going to sketch it. We are going to, like bring it forward from our thoughts and deeds. So that's what it's all about. So the meaning of career is a person's course and progress through life, is especially when publicly conspicuous and abounding in remarkable incidents, a course of professional life and employment which offers opportunity for progress and advancement in the world. So the consequence of the vocational choices, understanding of self, and evolving with the requirements of success and reasoning between these two and adapting to the situation, that's what the career means. So it's a sequence of combinations of roles that you come across, you change, you adopt, and you adapt to the situation such that in due course of time, that evolves your career. So it's an ongoing journey. It's an evolving sequence of a person's work experiences over time. And work in the sense, it doesn't start from only the work scenario, but also from the childhood. So how to make it possible? That is it the new term that we are talking about? No, this has been in our system from the 19th century. The most basic form of counseling, taking as a form of treatment from all emotional problems. So when you get stuck, life is not always a game that we take it, that it's so easy for us to move forward. There are always repercussions, there are always hurdles. So how to move about it? Either it is from the society, is it from the community, is it from the situation, or is it from self? So we need something, some external support, which can help us to come out of those problems, like as we know in a day-to-day situation. And that's how the very term of counseling came into forward. Some people who are able to counsel us, advise us to come out of those problems, to evolve from those problems, to look into the situation from those problems, that is, look into the strength and shortcomings of those problems. That's how the name counseling came into being from the 19th century. And people who became so very professional, who were well versatile at it, they became the counselors and they called themselves the social advocates. And that's how the whole focus of that evolved into it. Now, when it got evolved into the situation of career counseling, other counseling, so it started from the school day, it started from the child welfare, it started from the education system, it came from then it was related to the employment guidance, then it becomes a legal reformation system that are well being in our system now. So the meaning of counseling is a specialized service of guidance, and it is an enabling process designed to help us learning to take the responsibility to make the decisions of him or herself. It helps in evolving the relationship, which includes seeking someone for help, whom we can confide, whom we can open up to. So very important, the bond that we develop with that particular person is very, very important, such that we are able to open up. We are able to liberate ourselves. We are able to come out of our jinx, come out of our problems, such that we are willing to seek somebody's help, capable of getting trained and setting the permits that will get us giving and receiving becomes an equal scenario. I mean, on a acceptable mode, such that counseling denotes give and take of the advice. So how does it relate to the education process? As we all know, education is always, how is it related to when it comes to the life scenario? As we all know very well, that every day we need somebody, a friend indeed is a friend indeed. When we get stuck, okay, somebody comes and gives us a hand. So that person who we can confide upon, we can relate to, we can ask for help. So that we become more open with that person and we say, you are my buddy, you are my best friend, such that can we relate this to an education scenario? Yes, definitely we should relate. We should be able to relate it to the education. As we all know, education is a passport to the future, because we're always talking about the future, that when we are always in the present. But we just learn from our past, we relate it to the present, and always we prepare ourselves for the future. So relating it to the education is a key thing that is more synonymous of the present situation, such that it is related to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare it for us today. So what we do today should be able to prepare ourselves for the future. What we do today will definitely have its repercussions, have its reflections for tomorrow. So please allow me to just log into my website, because in the sense like I hope I'll be able to share it from here. Yes, it's loading. Why am I saying this? Because what we education is that when a child goes to school, we think that career counseling is something that we should start thinking about only when we are in a secondary term. But definitely it is not like that. Career counseling is something that we should be able to relate it to the child when the child is already started going to the school. This is my own website. Please allow me to go through the website. Why? Because uh, as a professional, I just created this website. I wanted you to just have a look at it, because this is what Vidya is. I can't be, whomever I meet in my life, I can't be explaining what Vidya is, what Vidya is doing, what is Vidya capable of, what are her interests, everything. As such, sorry, it takes too much time to load, but still. Right. We are. Why is it very important to create such a website? Is that for people to know very easily. So if I want to tell somebody about who am I, I'm going to just add this link to them, saying that this is what is me. Just have a look at it and get back to me. So what I have done here is that who we are. Hope this page opens. Yes. Right. Hopefully. Yeah. So when they come to my website, they get a very clear idea of who am I exactly, what I've done, what all my testimony, who are the people who have certified me, who have validated my services so far, and everything. They get a very clear idea of it. So it becomes very easy for me than me explaining everything to them. Then, why do we need a website? What do I actually do? So let's go here. So being an education consultant, what do I do over here? This is what I do over here. So I give them a very clear picture. What do I do? How do I extend my services to them in what all different fields as such? So this makes it very easy for me rather than me explaining everything to them. And coming back to the presentation, here we are. That's what my website is all about. I have a YouTube channel in which I upload all my sessions, the whole thing, what I do. Basically, when people ask, I just send these two links and my LinkedIn profile to tell them very clearly, this is what I am. So why do we do this? How is it going to make it easy? Do you think that I want you to come back to me and tell me very clearly, was it really useful for you? Or do you do that? Do you think that this is necessary? So such that what do I do is, as a counselor, when students come to me, I encourage them first to create their own profile like this, which is very important. So right from the small age, right from the younger age, they become more inspired. They become more encouraged to create such a thing for themselves. So whatever they do, as we all know, students, when they come to when they in the process of career counseling or in the process of career formation, they always work on the scholastic and co-scholastic skills. When it comes to the scholastic skills, we always have the progress reports or the certificate that the school gives, that the school or the college or the university gives. But when it comes to the co-scholastic skills, there is a need exactly for the child to develop in both the scenarios, in both the streams as such. In the present scenario, when you're good in academics, then there is a question, what are the other things that you're of to your interest? So this is very, very important for a child to develop a career for themselves academically, that is scholastically and post-scholastic, and to have a very good manifestation of themselves. This manifesto will help the child create a portfolio or a profile for themselves. So who we are is what we become when we think what we can become. So this is the key thing that we are trying to instill in the child by those two, by creating a website for themselves. So all those records of academics and scholastic skills, and all right from the KG, and this is very much needed for them to create a portfolio. I would encourage even the schools to have a portfolio for each and every student who is studying, such that it becomes easy for the child to take up the career. And also, as they grow up on, it's just everything is added on to it, one after the other. This can be done. Either this can be a website, or otherwise they can use a Padlet to create it, such that all records are there, to such that it is all in one place and it's easy for them to share. So how do we do it? That we have discussed. And whom do we need to do this, to assist this? This is a key question, like who can work on this? All those teachers and the educators who are associated with the child in the process of education have to synchronize in this process of creating a portfolio for the child, such that the child is able to create a profile for themselves as they sail across. And this makes the child more motivated towards studies, towards developing their skills, towards developing their hobbies, towards working on their own scenario, they will create their own niche, that they are more adapted to it, and they are more challenged, and they will come across any situation in the life more confidently. For this, the role of counselors is very important. So this triangle of home, school, child, teacher, and the parent works through the circus process of career formation. So here comes the role of counselors on the overview. So what all things can go into this profile is that graduation requirements, which are needed for that. And so what all the tracking of credits and everything, career counseling, when it comes to the career counseling pathway, career pathway for the secondary. So these are the things definitely the career counselor will accept. The course audit, tracking of credits, sending letters to the parents and the parent updates, and students are aware of the graduation requirements and college admissions, assist the students with the completion of the college application process. So when the portfolio is ready, the counselors can work on these factors. So we'll come back to it a little later towards the end of the session. So what is required is the data analysis report and the assessment results right through the process, such that it is there with the child through and through. So the record keeping is the data handling that we are talking about. So what all things that the child has been involved in it, alumni tracking, parent informational programs, and the reports, and everything as such, which will create a cumulative records of the child's portfolio and the profile that we are talking about. So apart from that, for the personality well-being, this also should be recorded, such that attendance and punctuality, the attendance record, the attendance certificate for each and every year, and the graduation events, ceremonies, honor rolls, and other certifications, and other disciplines, and attendance and academic everything as the child has been involved into. And of course, do not hesitate to reveal any of the physical or the emotional challenges the child is facing. Everything has to be recorded, such that, of course, these can be shared on a confidential note. So this should start from the junior level. That's what I was talking about. So I would say that this creating a portfolio for the child is going to be the prime aspect, the key thing that the child had to work upon, the parents have to work upon, the students have to work upon with the teachers and the school counselors, such that this happens right from a very KG or FS age, such that everything is recorded very clearly, systematically. So prepare and take, this is this is for the secondary courses that we have just put into. So anything, it's the same repetition that we have taken the list from the thing. So creating a profile is a key thing, is the main primary thing that everyone needs to work upon when it comes to the career formation or the career portfolio. So evolving into the next stage, when it comes to the employment stage, it is going to be well connected and transparent, where you can highlight upon your education, training, credential, and the support services, and also well prepared, which is targeting upon the students and the targeted population whom we are talking about. And also, if at all we have any job switchover, and all those who have been employed in different areas, so where you can see how you have evolved through by increasing your skills, competencies, credentials, everything is being recorded very clearly and systematically. So how to document the evidence? Again, I repeat, create a student passport to create your documentation of the work, include all kind of evidences, images, videos, and audio clips, include your mentor validation card signed by the mentor for each and every segment. Say, for example, if it's for the academic, so the class teacher or the foster teacher has to sign. If it is for any competition or any a conference that you have taken part in it, so the mentor who has worked with you, the mentor validation card is very important. As such, it should be signed by the mentor. Submit all the evidences to the mentor to enable him to draft a detailed report on the work done by the child. That is also very important. This will add credit to your testimony. So submit all the final document to the school, while the mentor will vet all the evidences, and the evidences need to be submitted to the final document to the local government for authentication and the validation for scholarships. Once we document everything, so this becomes a validated document for applying for these scholarships that we are going to talk about. So in that case, what kind of profile that we need to work on? We need to work on the 4 different modules of the profile that can include the physical section. That means anything that you're skilled in: art, sports, creativity, and soft skill. Community section, where the module benefits your involvement in the community services and well-being. Third is the digital innovation section, where your AI competencies are being, because AI is going to rule the world, so we cannot avoid it. So we should always include it. Your contribution in the AI or the digital innovation should take part in it. And also, finally, all the three put together comes the fourth one, the global citizenship section module, where your contributions are to the global arena, where you have taken part as a member of UNESCO or UNICEF or any other activity that can just really validate your profile in a global arena. So how this will help you? This will help the child with skills of confidence and enhanced profile when you apply for a college, university, or even for a job. You will develop your fitness in making a difference in people's life and making new friends and having memories to the lifetime. So when you move it, when you create this profile, you will be able to collaborate with people, such that creation is very important, collaboration is very important, your manifestation of the communication is very important, such that you will be able to contribute to the community, being a very good citizen. So when it comes to the physical section, what range of activities that we can have, any sports games or any activities or any board game activities or any physical fitness activities also we can include in. When it comes to the digital innovation section, definitely inter-school competition, national inter-school competition, or you yourself have innovated something and you have created something in innovation media, also will be able to be a part of it. So when it comes to the framework of activities, it could be robotics, it could be programming, decoding, self-learning, apps, labs, or the creating game section, or entrepreneurship, or involving in instance with the SDGs, anything as such, or you have just presented your project in any of the pitch presentation, anything which relates to the innovation to improve the quality of life to the larger community, it can happen in that. And designing or learning digital aids for your school, or as a student or as a university student, have you contributed to the school website or the school newsletter, or any kind of sensory, visual and sensory aids? Everything can go on to this, or creation of any audiobooks or the ports or anything as such, like anything as such in different languages, if you can just transform it and such that all contribute to become a very good entrepreneur in the future. So apart from that, community section, of course, how you can make your community section, contributing to the community section as such, anything which is created to the nature, anything which is created to the community, anything which is relating to the self-orientation and self-enhancement, as such you have taken as a leader, taken part as a leader, have you handled any kind of situation, challenging situation, or contributing to any kind of the, floods or any blood camp or anything as such, as a student or as a community member, if you participated in, if you volunteered for any of the catastrophic situations. So all these things you should be able to document it, evidence it in terms of video or audiovisual aids that will really contribute to that profile. So when it comes to the global citizenship, you're taking part in um, any of the other sections like UNSC or now the COP sections or G20 sessions. All these contribute to your creating a profile or a portfolio. So this is how the portfolio should be created. So when you are ready, when you are sure that your portfolio is sound enough, is worthy enough to be shared with any of the upper academic platform, or it has got all the evidences of the scholastic and the post-scholastic skills, then you can go on for applying for all the universities. So for students who are going to apply for the universities, that's after the fall, what is required is, now academically, what is required is, we should have, when it comes to the school report cards, what happens? It has its own restrictions. The school belongs to a particular country, and the country has got its curriculum systems where, say, for example, if in India, it's CBSE or ICSE curriculum. When it comes to the UAE, it's UK curriculum, US curriculum, Finland curriculum, different curricular requirements. So when it comes to the academic tests, universally, certain tests are universally accepted. So gradually, the student, that so far we have seen about core scholastic profile of the student. When it comes to the academic profile, that is appearing for these MAP tests, which are very, very important. That is, all kindergarten students can also take the MAP test. That is, MAP is mental aptitude test. It is called as mental aptitude test. So this is worldwide license for maths grades from 1 to 8. High school students can apply. Reading, when it comes to the reading scale, definitely these records adds a big value to your profile or your portfolio. When it comes to the mathematics map grades 1 to 8, students must have the map assessment test during the fall and the winter tests. So this you can apply online. Any student can apply online and they can take the test. And there are guidances, map guidances, which are being administered from the MAPS test series. You can take the test. You can take the retest as well if you have not done well. And these guidances are given under the heading of map growth and map screening. So the map is actually for the kindergarten must, all the kindergarten students also can take it. The reading map assessments can also be taken. Grades 1 to 3 students can also take the map test, and also grades 4 to 8 can also take the reading map assessments. So these enable the students to have them incompetent with the universal scenario as such. So these are very important. And so apart from the academic program, which is done by the school, the students can always go in for these map tests and keep their records very clearly. So apart from that, the minimum UC transfer requirements, that includes 2.4 GPA for non-residents, and the other requirements for applying for the universities, that's what we're talking about. English equivalence of 1 and 2, equivalence of TOEFL. So again, TOEFL is another examination. SAT examination is another examination. Transferable max class, and the selected from IGETC areas, and arts and humanities and social and behavioral sciences, physical and biological sciences. All these cater to the minimum undergraduate requirements. So apart from that, this is another stream of examination which the child can go, child can take apart from the school academic or the curriculum examinations, that is IELTS. When it comes to the IELTS, it is English language testing system, International English Language Testing System. That is, it's a global standardized English language test that is being taken universally when you take admissions for universities or even for job opportunities. Your band score in IELTS carries a big value. So when it comes to the non-user, the band scores are taken with the 4 tests of reading, listening. First is listening, then reading, speaking, and then writing, and then speaking. These are the stages. That is, first is listening, then reading, then writing, and then speaking. When you are a non-user, when you're taking it for the first time, band 1 is approved. When you're an intermediate user, band 2 is approved. And extremely limited user, 3, limited user, modest user, competent user, then comes grade 6, band 6. So if you're going to take a job opportunity, then definitely your band 6 is counted. When you're a good user, the band 7. When you're a very good user, band 8. Expert user, band 9. So when you go into the universities require, demand for band 7 at the least. So IELTS is one more examination which the child can take, the student can take apart from the schools. So when it comes to the IELTS, it comes in 2 different streams, academics and general training. Academics is for the professionals who are working for job, who are looking for job opportunities. When it comes to the university requirements, then it is only general training. It's more than that. So the test structure is that: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Listening is 30 minutes, reading is 60 minutes, writing is 60 minutes, speaking is 11 to 14 minutes. 4 sections of tests are there for listening and 40 questions you need to answer. So when it comes to the reading, 60 minutes, 3 sections and 40 questions. When it comes to the writing, 60 minutes, 2 tasks will be given. One is general, one is the other one is essay writing for 400 words. And when it comes to the speaking, this is where the main thing is all about. This is where the key areas where the universities are concerned about, because the speaking test is the one which is more challenging for the students or even anyone who is going to apply for a job abroad. So what happens, the speaking, where the people especially when it comes to when you are from other country where English is used as a second language, they always have a problem with the speaking. Understanding and the comprehension becoming a challenging part for the student and also those who are applying for a job. So what happens? The speaking needs more and more practice and you will be able to. You'll be here in other tests. You are not with another person. All these are for yourself, so you get a time to work on yourself. Whereas when it comes to the speaking, the other person, the one who is taking the test is right in front of you. You need to follow them. You need to comprehend. You need to understand. You need to answer the questions. So this is a challenging part of it. So you need a lot of practice for speaking tests. So moving ahead with, I think we have spoken a lot about IELTS. IELTS is one examination that the child should definitely work on, and as such, and it really helps. So apart from SAT, apart from IELTS, other school is that the US credit scores and the offerings, how the student can prepare themselves for getting into the US universities or the other universities. The best practice in the United States is that they help the students for college and the career readiness. So this is what is a thing which everyone, even for India, it's more applicable that we should start working with a child right from the age of, as we have seen, the map skills and the test and everything, right from FS. FS means KG. We should start working on the child, creating a portfolio, appearing them for other university other competent examinations, so that the child and more get used to it and they are not thrown to the sea when it comes to the graduation requirements. So the standardized subjects and the courses and process offered in school, US higher graduation requirements, all these are trained. The students are being trained on it, and the review of high school graduation requirements. So the guidance for planning for the high school course offerings and the review of the proposed high school courses offerings, and the grade point average. GPA is very much required for getting into the universities, that the school has to get upon, the student has to get upon, and the high school grade transcripts, which they have to prepare and document it. All these accreditation, which the students are trained on all these factors along with the teacher and the school counselor. So when it comes to the high school phase of the US curriculum school, it comes from grade 3, 10, grade 9, 10, and 11, And the best practices which you see in United States schools, the high school principal oversees the work and work closely with the curricular coordinator, assessment coordinator, special education coordinator, guidance counselors, librarian, and also library departmental heads to monitor the student progress very clearly, systematically. And the best practices which we follow, which is generally followed in high schools in the United States, is that the high school is usually divided into departments of the subject area, and the department heads or the coordinator are selected to oversee the work of the department area to keep the high school principal or the vice principal informed of the school student progress. And these are communicated to the parents, and the parents are always in the loop by the interim reports. As I told you, if the child is going to have a portfolio or a profile created in a website, all these reports will be automatically uploaded in those reports in this website, such that the parent is able to see it then and there, and they can work on the child's strength and shortcomings. So one more full-time qualified guidance counselors work on the high school to help the students in the area of personal social development, academic achievement, career development, and university exploration and admission. So there is a through and through guidance process which is being established. So the US curriculum schools are notified here by the KHDA to the dates of beginning and ending of the academic year, such that they are able to apply for the vocational holidays, and also the school is told very clearly about the academic system and the application procedure for the universities, such that there is no clash or there is no overlap between the semester system and the application system for the universities. That each school is expected to have at least one full-time career guidance counselor explaining high school graduation requirements to the middle school students and the parents. So the process of training, the process of counseling is well versed and is versatile, and it's just being in vogue, and it's more integrated with the system right from the middle school. And they guided students in exploring the career option, assisting the students with high school courses and selection, monitoring school students' progress towards meeting and graduation requirements, arranging support for the students in case of students who are not performing or making expected progress, coordinating internships with the high school students with the corporate, such that they are able to evidence them with the expansion with the professional scenario. So introduce students, not only that, they introduce students to all the local colleges and universities and also abroad, explain university admission requirements for the locally and also internationally, ensure students are aware of the enrollment dates and the national international examinations required by the colleges and universities, assist students with colleges and university admission application with the detailed transcripts that ought to be supported with the universities for the student admissions. So the courses being offered by the high school prepare the students very well for the next phase of life. The students opting for the college admission or universities will be offered those courses in all the schools, which help them to become competitive for university admission and for the scholarships as well. The students wanting to enter into the workforce immediately to graduation will be well prepared to do so. So what kind of course being offered? That's what the next question is. As we all say, the main list comes from here. Of course, it stems from there, and the variety of subjects and the courses are offered in the high school to allow them to have a continued growth in subject and exploration of new subjects. So the main core subjects are English, world language, science, mathematics, social studies, visual, performing arts and physical education, and the elective subjects. And when it comes to UAE, Arabic, Islamic, and the moral education, UAE social studies is very important. When it comes to the elective subjects, what are things? Introduction to the business, coding, entrepreneurship, nutrition, web design, advanced chemistry, forensic science, and marine biology. So these are the main electives. So when it comes to the elective course, with the main course in the sense that the core subjects of this English, world language, science, mathematics, social, visual, performing arts, physical education, the child is able to add these electives as freely chosen from the list of options that provides opportunities for the students to explore the interest of study or the study of subjects to a deeper level. So the US high school awarded diploma for the grade 12 students who have earned the minimum number of credits in the required subjects, as we have seen in the core and also in the electives. So when it comes to the graduation requirements, the minimum graduation requirements from state to state expects from the US curriculum schools in Dubai to require the minimum of 22 credits. That's for Dubai. If we check for different countries, it will be totally different. So when it comes to the planning considerations, the subjects that we require and the students, whether English is a main language or the additional language, or the learners who are going to keep English as an additional language will be given extra support. So this is what is very important, and that additional support is provided. Then the teachers who are with the subject expertise and the English language proficiency, as we all looked into the areas, and also about the SAT courses which are being offered. So all put together with all the subjects and the student training courses and also the student classroom credits, 1 credit is equal 120 hours, 5 credits equal 60 hours, such that we are able to define it. So the sample of course option with the subject is that English, when it comes to that, it is American literature, journalism. When it comes to the English, these are the subheadings that they work on: American literature, journalism, world literature, debate, poetry, creative writing, and research. When it comes to mathematics, fundamentals of mathematics, personal finance, algebra, geometry, pre-calculus, statistic, and calculus. When it comes to science, environmental science, earth science, biology, chemistry, physics, forensic science, and space science. Social studies, world history, geography, current events, sociology, psychology, international relations, and economics. So all these put together, when it comes to the world languages, these are told in different languages, such that the language options are also given to the students: Arabic, French, Spanish, Mandarin, German, and Russian. Visual arts, when it comes to the visual arts, drawing, painting, calligraphy, photography, digital media, and video production. Performing arts, if they're going to choose choir, drama, dance, music theory, keyboarding, and concert band. And when it comes to the physical choice, with the choice of physical education, yoga, swimming, soccer, football, aerobics, basketball, weightlifting are given as choices. So with all these courses, the high school courses designed for the students who needs an additional challenge, AP courses are also administered with the international IBDP, that is International Bureaucratic Diploma Program, is being administered for rigorous college level courses with a variety of subjects that gives the students an opportunity to gain the skills and the experience college recognizes. When it comes to the AP courses, these are the AP courses that the schools are providing. That is AP research. I think it's going too much, but still let me just go through the list fast. AP research, AP seminar, AP art and history, AP music theory, AP studio art, AP design, AP studio drawing. When it comes to the English, AP English language and composition, AP English language literature and composition. When it comes to the history and social science, it's AP comparative government and politics, AP European history, AP human geography, AP macroeconomics, AP psychology, AP United States government and politics, AP United States of history, AP world history. So with maths and computer science, AP calculus AB, AP calculus BC, AP computer science A, AP computer science principles, AP statistics when it comes to science, AP biology, AP chemistry, AP environmental science, AP physics, AP electrical magnetism, AP physics and mechanics, AP physics and algebra based, AP physics to algebra based. When it comes to the world languages and cultures, AP Chinese and language structure, AP French language structure, AP German, AP Italian, AP German is AP Latin, AP Spanish, AP Spanish literature and courses. So with all this, apart from this, IBDP courses are also being offered with the theory of knowledge, extended essay, creativity and activity services with the 6 subjects of grouping or studies in language and literature, language acquisition, individuals and societies, sciences, mathematics, and the arts. So with all this, so the courses being offered, the students who needs extra support, additional support, they are given extra support in consumer maths, business maths, real world maths, fundamental of the personal finance. So with all this, the child's profile is consolidated in the academic point of view. So when it comes to the high school courses, the students from grade to 9 are often present themselves the same course as high school students in the US curriculum school in a particular grade and not enrolled in exact 6 courses. So the option is given to them which one they want to choose, they can choose as such. And the introduction of biology could be taken by the students from grades 9, 10, 11, and 12. So whenever the student is falling short of this 120 hours of instruction, the student is given reminders to cover the credit such that the credit is always maintained. So with all the elements of school, high school grade transcript, that is the progress report, is consolidated with the record of students' academic accomplishments in high school. So it lists every class course for student that the student took when the class or the course was taken. That means attendance is recorded as such, and the grade that the student has received in class or the course wise is recorded, and it provides a grading scale with the academic summary. So sometimes additional information such as standardized test scores, that is the SAT set scores, or any honors that the child has taken is received or listed also in the transcript, that is the report card, the portfolio that we're talking about, and or otherwise we call it as passport also. Often the course descriptions are attached to this transcript. So every person enrolled in the high school must have the high school transcript, which must be regularly updated as courses and completed. And where do we record this transcript? That's why I said it is very important for the child to have a website, or otherwise at least in a Padlet, such that the child is able to record through and through. The high school transcript, I've just given an example of the high school transcript for you to have a look at it. And the percentages that the grades are also given for them to come across. So the child can monitor his own grades and take the responsibility of their own learning, and to work on the credits or to work on the number of scores that is required. The child makes his or their own effort with the help of the parent, with the help of the counselor, with the help of the school student. So the minimum with the credit is also mentioned so that the child needs to work on, that they work on that. And with the GPA point, average is a point number representing the average value to be accumulated with the final scores earned with the courses over time. The student's grade point average is calculated by adding up and accumulated with the final grades, giving a definite figure at the number of credits that are being awarded. So how to calculate the grade point is also very clearly given, such that the whole semester get a report card of the grade points and the grade hours. So when we prepare the school transcript, does your script have the basic information about the student? Does the transcript include the information of the enrollment to the school and to the particular grade and exit of that particular grade with the number of hours that the child has studied, justified with the scores that the child has scored? Does the transcript include the basic information about the school? Yes, of course, where the school is situated and past history and the legacy of the school. Does the transcript include all the list of courses that the child has taken in an academic year? Does the does the transcript include the grading scale? Does the transcript include the external examination scores that we have talked about and the competition scores? Does the transcript include the scores descriptions as well? So when we consolidate a transcript report with the creating a portfolio or the profile for the student, you need not keep uploading all your documents one by one when you apply for universities. It's all consolidated and kept in one place. You just have to forward that one single link to them. So how do we go about it? Here we are. When we have talked too much about the US curriculum and US getting into US schools and the US system of working. When we are in India, how to help the students. So that here are the certain links which are very quite evident. The Shiksha.com with the exams, with the ACT centers, test centers in India, helps you to have full support of creating such a portfolio or the transcript or the passport that we're talking about. I've just clicked it for you so that I think it will open. Yeah, it is opening. So this is Shiksha Study Board, Study Abroad. This one website, Shiksha.com, helps the students to study from India, basically. So these are ACT city centers, ACT test centers in India. So if you actually see, These are conducted by a non-profit organization called ACT Incorporation, that is American College Testing. What does ACT means? It is the American College Testing, and it is a non-profit organization. And ACT examination is a computer-based test that requires a candidate to answer multiple choice questions in English, Maths, reading, and science. And the ACT written test is conducted as optional and does not affect the candidates for the composition of the scores for the ACT examination center. So the students can appear for this ACT examination. And how is it being held? Where all it is being held? We have ACT testing centers throughout India conducting these, and the registration procedure and how to enroll yourself for that. Everything is cleared systematically and clearly given in this website, such that every child, every student will be able to take it up. And the ACT centers are through and through across India. As you can see, it's in Ahmedabad, Bhubaneswar, Dehradun, Gurgaon, Indore, Kodaikanal, Mohali, Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Kolkata, Mumbai, etc., etc., etc. And certain schools which are taking the ACT test is also mentioned over here. The names of the schools are also mentioned here, such that they will be able to provide you services then and there. So this is where the students should enroll themselves for taking up this competitive examinations. And how to register for ACT, if you go to the deep into that, there is a website which is called as www.act.org, where how to register for the ACT, and the next test date is given, and the registration deadline is also given, how to register for ACT examination, and you can enroll yourself and you can take the test. So why ACT test is very important? Why is it taken? How does the scores enable you to get into those competitive examination or becomes a gateway for getting into the universities? Everything is explained very clearly. And also there are fee waivers. And this is very key important. This, when you have your non-scholastic records very competent among in the universal, in the global scenario, then that's why I said your portfolio, creating a portfolio is very important. So there will be fee waivers there as well. You can take an advantage of it. And all these help the students to take this ACT examination. This is one thing that we can work on, that the students can work on. So when it comes to the US, this is about ACT college. Let me close this. When it comes to study in university, and when it comes to study in US universities, this website really helps the students from India. That is USIEF, United States India Education Foundation. USIEF is a foundation where if you want to enroll yourself for any of the US universities, all the guidelines are given very, very clearly. What is here is the key thing that you need to look into when it comes to the undergraduate study, graduate study, short-term study, postdoctoral study, scholarships that you can apply for, student services. Everything is very clearly given. And this is the gateway which will take the students up across to the universities in US. So when it comes to USF, where is its situation? It has its head office in New Delhi. It has its office in Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata. All the details are given very clearly, such that the student can enroll themselves and they can take up any of the competitive examination. And this is a gateway which will really help the students to apply and take it forward. So this, again, this website is very, very important, such that we'll be able to. So apart from that, when it comes to the US Embassy, when it comes to the college admission, when it comes to the US, applying for US from different parts of the globe, that is US Embassy and consulates in India. This we have seen. I'm sorry, let me just close it, otherwise it becomes a problem. So when it comes to applying for US universities from other parts of the world, so how does it really help? Exactly. The AP courses really help them. So this is what we have seen about when it comes to the AP courses that we have seen. And when it comes to the other curriculum, that is Cambridge and ICSE curriculum, students, how do they apply? So what is Cambridge ICSE curriculum and what are the leading, how to apply for the university, unique other universities is thus given very clear, detailed description such that you will be able to handle it. Here, as you can see, as we have seen in the AP courses, the flexible subject choices are given so that the student is able to make their own choices, and they have to consolidate by developing the skills which are required for the subject content, applying the knowledge and understanding to the unfamiliar situation, that is for the project work or anything that they are working on, and responsive flexibility and responsive to the changes, working and communicating in English, influencing outcomes and the cultural awareness are being held with the Cambridge curriculum. And the international, it has been given as the International Certificate of Education. And the key areas of curriculum areas which are basic requirements is language, mathematics, science, humanities, English language and literature, arts and other creative and professional scenario is being given, and the grading structure is also given. This also helps the students to consolidate the statement of results. So this is for the other curriculum of people who are going to apply for from other parts of the world. So apart from that, there are also, which we talked about, the MAP examinations. This also helps the students to have the MAP data consolidated so that they're able to apply and take part, such that they're able to apply and take part with the universal screening and the decision making, such that the academic grades are being consolidated with the summary of assessments, teacher recommendation, writing samples, map data, and with the other documentation which is required. So with all these things, we should be able to help the students to consolidate their process of career pathway and taking it further. So the repeated websites which I will be sharing with IIU, and you can take it from IIU as such. We have seen about the AP courses which are being offered, so which enable the students to complete the college level studies while they are still in high school and obtain the college placement and credit. And as such, the courses are being from the range of calculus to the studio art of US and history and French literature. And these are the courses which are being offered that we have seen through and through. And how many credit hours? These are subject-wise credit hours which are required for subjects, different subjects. English with the bare minimum of 4 credit hours. Mathematics, 4 credit hours. Science subjects, 4 credit hours minimum. And social studies and humanities, 3 credit hours. Arabic language, 4 credit hours. Islamic studies, 2 credit hours. Physical education, 2 credit hours. Visual arts is 1 credit hour. The world language is 2 credit hours. And with the calculus, with a subject and the credit requirements, that is English and 4 credit hours of maths with AP calculus AB, science with 4 credit hours of AP physics, electrical magnetism, AP physics and mechanics, AP chemistry and biology, and with the electives as a subject that we have seen. So with that, with the local government authorization, if we get the transcript consolidated with the certificate, with the attested copy from the local government, then the student is prepared with the profile, compilation of the profile, then you research for the universities, work on for the application process, get into that, prepare yourself for the interview. Then the next step is when you're ready with this process of getting your profile ready, compilation, researching into other areas of work on your profile and application process, and now preparing yourself for the interview is very, very important. So when you transfer the application, you have to follow the admission timeline. When you apply for the universities, application opens for the fall from the 1st of August, and they give time till 30th of November normally, and subject and transfer of academic update, which just ends with the 30th of November. as such. And 31st of November, the notification of the admission decision is being taken, and the final transcript of the deadline for the admission students is being given. And with the early January, you have to submit your UC application, online transfer with the academic interest. With your interest and the statement of register means SIR deadline, the statement of intent, which one that you're registering for, that is SIR deadline, and you are able to file your application. So when you file your application, what you expect from the student is that the student will get a response, immediate response, that the application has been well received with all the details which are required. If they are insufficient in application details, that they will respond to you, ask for more insightful questions and what they will require, exactly what is more to be added. So that stage is over. Then after that, it's like navigating their application. Exactly. You need to prepare yourself for your questionnaire, where you're going to talk about yourself and your campus majors that you're going to look into, your academic history, your test scores, your activities on awards, scholarship and programs, if at all you're applying for any kind of scholarship that we need to, and the personal insight. So when this process is over, you need to give them with the demographics, exactly with the Department of US Education, exactly which area that which state that you're looking for, that will help you to exactly place yourself in that demographic. And apart from that, you need to give them very clear idea of exactly what you will be moving ahead after the study, what you're going to do, what is your future aspiration, that you will be able to say that, so that they will be able to give you the answer very clearly. And for any other kind of benefit, you need to fill the form with the US anything as such, if you're from Army or from any service member, or you're with an NGO, you're associated with any kind of NGO, all these things add to your credits when you apply. Then finally, when it comes to that, you need to reveal your family identification as such. How many members are there in your family? Who is the earning member of the family? What is the family income? What is the property that you have in your native land? Such that if at all they need to advise you on any kind of scholarship or anything, or the course of study, they will see that whether you will be able to afford for such a study. So everything will be evaluated with the submission of the form with all these relevant details, information, and everything is consolidated with the AP examination as such, and how you have taken the examination, or even the IELTS or the TOEFL scores need to be added. With that, we will be able to give the very clear consolidated picture of the summary of the student. So this is where everybody gets stuck. Please describe how you have prepared yourself to the intended major, including the readiness to succeed in your upper division courses once you enroll into the university. Why this question is very important, because when you have your major, sometimes what happens in the due course of study, you will not be able to complete that course. So when you have your ancillary as a supporting, considering the ancillary part of it, they will suggest you some other course of study to complete that major. So in that case, this question is very, very important. This is actually a very key question, such that for referring you for any kind of internship in the local country, or for referring you for any kind of scholarship program, or otherwise any kind of employment which the university is willing to offer, this is actually very, very key important thing. So when you sit for an example, when you have prepared your profile very clearly and you have submitted your profile for the application for the university, this is what is important. You need to prepare a questionnaire, a consolidated summary, a synopsis of yourself. Describe an example of your leadership experience in which you have positively influenced others, helped to resolve problems, dispute, and contributed to the group efforts over time. So every person has a creative side. It can be expressed in many ways, whether it is problem solving, originally innovative thinking, or artistically, to name a few, or to how to describe your creative side. Or you could be a poet, you could be an author, you could have published some books, anything and everything can go into that. What would you say as a greatest skill or a talent? How you have developed it and demonstrated in the talent over time, so you can show your progress over through the years. Describe how you have taken the advantage of the significant educational opportunity, work to overcome the education barrier you have faced. Describe the most significant challenge you have faced and how you have been resilient to overcome that challenge is very important, and how this has really complemented your academic achievement. That also you need to write. And what have you done to make yourself, your school, or the community a better place to live in, also as a citizen. So beyond what has been already shared in your application, what do you believe makes you stand out as a strong candidate to the university? So that's how it is. With all these things, we should be able to consolidate on your profile. And of course, if you have any kind of gaps in education, that also don't hesitate, don't hide, always say it openly, such that you can say that this is the hurdle that I had, this is the problem that I had, and I have overcome with this. As we know, why we need to create and consolidate such a profile, because education is a passport to the future for tomorrow for those who belong it today, those to prepare it for it today. So on that note, we come to the end of the session. Thank you. And I'm open to questions, and anything that is related to that, anything related to the session, I'm always willing to answer the questions. Or any kind of guidelines that you expect from me, please always write to IIU. They will always get back to me. I'll be able to guide you further. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sri Vijay Sukumar ma'am, for enriching us with such a wonderful knowledge on the career counseling part of it. Any participants having any questions, please do come up with your questions or need any clarities, or you want to have any further discussions that might help other fraternities over here with regard to the topic that has been discussed today, and you want to get more enlightened on that, please feel free to unmute yourself and throw your question, or if you feel shy like me to come on the screen, then please text it on the text box.
Sir, I feel her PPT itself was so descriptive and informative. Like, she had touched, I think, all the points. Very, very great presentation. Very informative.
To the topic, it was, that's what I would say, very apt and very significant and very specific way of describing the requirements of a counselor. What all the aspects a counselor should look into. Yesterday, I just gave an introduction to a counselor, but today's is a keynote for all the counselors, course counselors, or the career counselors, or any counselors for that matter. It is just as I always keep on saying in all my CSR programs, that we trainers or coaches, we are just the Google Map aunties. We guide you to go this way, go right or go left. Driving the vehicle is in your own hand. So that way, understanding whatever the points that have been beautifully described by Dr. Shivida ma'am today, starting from creating the profile of a student from the KG level itself, that is from the kindergarten level itself. I feel very sorry to say this. In India, if this system is introduced, that's what yesterday also I was saying, the counselors should be appointed from the elementary level itself for the students, so that these counselors or the career guides can help the student to create their own profile, right? They need not wait for the certificates that come from the education board if they create their profiles from the childhood itself. So that gives a very perfect picture for the students, what to do and what not to do, what is my strength and what is my weakness. That's what the self-SWOT that needs to be taught to the students from the elementary level itself, so that the student is independent to choose his or her own career. These things need to be focused by us, the counselors. That's what I feel personally. Please do correct me, Shivida ma'am, if I'm wrong, right?
No, it's definitely not, sir. Even the schools, even the school website should
Yes.
have a login and a student
Yeah.
login very
So
clearly.
whatever the topics she has covered today, only a few I could jot it down, right? Starting from the creating a profile to the education systems that are followed. Though she gave one example of the United States, but we should understand as a counselors, we should understand that there are different systems that are educational systems that are followed in different countries. We have to dig into that and understand what education system is followed in which country and how it is what is the process of it, and what should be the student do, what is the process of the student to get into that particular country's education system. This is what we need to explore, and this is what we need to guide the students, because if we miss this guidance, it will become a very big hindrance to the students. It will become a very big hurdle to the students to develop in their careers. So this career development program is a very vital thing that every individual needs to incur in himself or herself, right? So the best practices that are being practiced for the students, what they need to do, students, what they need to do from the education, the beginning of their education itself, how they bring their profile, how they have to update their profile, what are the basic requirements that are there in every stage of their schoolings. All these things are so beautifully explained by Shivija ma'am, and hats off to you for that detailed this thing, right? And I was really taken aback. I was very keen on listening to the whole set of the PPTs that you posted on the course today. So anybody is still having any questions in spite of all these things, you are most welcome to post your questions so that we are here to answer you. Still, like yesterday, as Snigna ma'am has told that all of us do have questions, and if we are hesitant or a bit shy-natured or totally introvert, you can please jot down your questions in your notes, post it on the final day, because the final day, there is the fourth day, we will be having ample
Yes,
time to
yeah,
answer all these questions
true.
and satisfy you. We doesn't want you to go out of this platform unsatisfied. That's what I mean to say. As me, as a career counselor and also a couple counselor, I don't want any of you to go unsatisfied from this platform. So please do jot down your questions or any clarifications that you want to have. Please feel free. Thank you so much again, Srivija ma'am. And it is my, if no questions are there, then it would be,
I have
Yes,
a
sir.
question.
yes, please.
Yes. Based on the student mentor ratio, is this something that you could do as you're doing this as a class now to approach the student more in a group setting as opposed to individual? Because I don't know what the ratio is for the students, you
Good
know,
question.
Mhm.
It's a good question. That's why I said that every student need to have this portfolio,
Yeah.
and this should be administered from the school management style. As
Mhm.
I couldn't complete the previous part of it. Like if the school website has a student login, the parent login, where normally they log in and they create their own portfolio, where the student portfolio is created in that particular portal. Every single student studying in the school will have a portal there, will have a portfolio in that portal, in the school website only. And this will have all the scholastic and the scholastic skills of the student grade wise in every grade as they move on. say the school, that's why I said that at the time of admission, the child would have taken admission from KG. And right now, the child might be studying in middle school, maybe in 6th standard. Over these years of primary, the child sailed across the course of education in that particular school. All the records as such, not only the progress report. Normally, where do we fail is that the school maintains a progress report and it is handed over to the next class teacher. Here is your file. These are the set of students, how many ever it is. Whereas if it is uploaded in a portal and kept, where the child portfolio is given to the next class teacher automatically, or when it goes to the next class teacher, and the student himself will start working on it. Sometimes what happens, that's a very good question. Why did I say a very good question is, when the choice of streams come to the student, he might be interested in computer, but he will be also interested in accounts. So there are two profiles the child has in him. In that case, what happens? Parents normally send the child, allow the child to take accountancy, computer science in the mainstream, and they will send ICSE CA examination outside. Chartered accountant examination, ICSE examination outside the school hour, after the school hours. Instead of that, if the child profile is created within the school system itself, that's why the AP courses, if you see, they have varieties, lots and lots of incentives which are being offered, the courses being offered. Only thing, the thing is, the school management has to take a decision as to should be able to provide. And as a parent, actually, why did I even come up with this idea is that the student portfolio. As a parent, I am a parent. I have a daughter who's a dancer. When she applied for universities, we had about nearly 1,300 certificates to be uploaded for evidences along with the thing. We kept on uploading, and then we thought, okay, fine, let me just come. It was an exploration. And then we created a website where we uploaded everything and kept such that we just forward. That's how we came up with that. That the portal that was created, that was then we just came up with that. And that really helped us through and through. And this is what we feel that every parent will have the same situation as such. With all this validation, with all this process, even about the Duke of Edinburgh Awards that we know, when the child applied for Duke of Edinburgh Awards, which is accepted universally, there are so many things, the evidences that the child has to provide, like in terms of adventure, in terms of about, academically, in terms of innovation, in terms of creativity, in terms of exactly the gardening or the CSR activities, everything has to be documented very clearly. So for this profile creation is the first step. When the child is actually going and taking admission in KG, the same day the parent has to create a website, to be very frank. Even before that, because normally the parents are more enthusiastic. Every single move of the parent will take picture. Every step. The first day the child starts walking, the parent will say immediately come with the mobile and take a picture. Why do they lose interest during the course of time? They don't need to. They have to continue the process. Evidence is such that every single learning experience, every single experience of life is being a learning experience. It has to be evidenced and it has to be documented. So that's where the key process is all about. And especially when it comes to the scholarship, as I couldn't complete my daughter's story, she studied on 100% scholarship. So in that case, like evidences, when it comes to 100% scholarship as such, then you need to have the documentation such that you need to have a proof saying that how this has contributed to her academic enhancement and also personal enhancement, how she has contributed from her personal enhancement to the community. That also to be related, that has to be evidence, that has to be story, and the storyline has to be very clearly depicted, manifested, and explained, such that when they go for interview session, it becomes easy for them. And they themselves will create it. They themselves will maintain it so that they know it very well. And these days, students are so capable and they're so competent, they will be able to do it in no time once this is created and given to them.
Right. To add on to that, I hope Dr. Sonia missed the class yesterday, I believe. Or I'm not able to, in a position to track the yesterday's participants' attendance as well. The thing is that yesterday I explained clearly that as the question you were asking, the ratio of student mentor or the student counselor, as per the 2018 survey, in US it is 1:250. One mentor or one counselor for 250 students, whereas the same ratio in India, it is 1:3,000. So this ratio of mentor student or the counselor student varies from country to country because it is entirely dependent on the education system a particular country follows. So the education system and the educational curriculum the country follows. If there are multiple curriculums, then the ratio of mentors or the ratio of counselors will also vary according to the different curriculums a country is following. So based on that, to collide all these things and bring it into the note, then it would confuse all the participants over here. The examples that we give is to make the participants to understand clearly that this is a guide path that we are giving to you. Rest, in this process, you need to continue to become a counselor or a mentor for a student or a guide for a student. And that's what yesterday, even I was very much stressing on this point. A guide or a mentor or a counselor need to put in a lot of hard work if we have to be honest and if we have to be very logical to the student's future. So that way we have to dig down and we have to explore these things depending on the countries where we reside and the who are the counselees for us, from which country the counselee is coming to us. Based on that, we have to work on that. So this is a small example, very nice question, so that everybody can make this a practice to become a counselor, because there's a huge vacancy for the counselors, there's a huge vacancy for the mentors, there's a huge vacancy for the what do you call it as guides, career guides, especially from the elementary level itself in almost all the countries today. So if one takes this as a core interest in their life and they work towards it, there's nothing like that. Thank you for asking a beautiful
That's only
question.
the academic proficient people, but we have not talked about the other part of it as well.
True
The
that.
counselor
True,
plays a
true.
biggest role when it comes to the inclusion part of it.
Yes.
Hello, Dr. Nada.
Hi, Nara. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
I
Except good
come
night.
from my
Everything.
I'm
job,
staying
so
here
I
for a long
joined just
time.
now. I didn't listen and watch. I just come now, so I joined to hear the end.
No, so you want Dr. Srividya to do it again?
No, every end is a new beginning, sir. Right, Ravi, sir? Every
Yeah.
end is a new beginning, so
New
you can
beginning.
begin.
I
No
know
worries.
I know Dr. Nada has been missing me so long because we were doing G20 sessions together, and so she wanted to join. Yes, my love.
Yes, I couldn't come because now it is 5 p.m. and I work in the morning and in the afternoon, so it's very hard to come and join. So
Same here. We had the COP28 last day, finale today.
yes.
Today is the last day, and I just rushed. I just managed to come. I was thinking that I'll be late.
Yes,
So,
yes. That too
okay.
started on a
Dr.
week.
Dr. Deepak, how are you? Nice to see you again. Professor Antonia also, you see we have here Romania. Wow, we have you, Dr. Sonia. Great.
Yeah, so they all are eagerly waiting to hear you on the last day, the finale of this career.
This batch.
Yes, okay. So I think it's the time to wind up, Professor Ravi Kumar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, great session. Thank you, Dr. Srividya. Thank you, Ravi sir. Thank you, Nada. I think we have Professor Charles also with us.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, our Vice Chancellor. Anyways, good night to all. See you all tomorrow with the same enthusiasm to hear Professor Dr. Binu Thomas. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.